Hello everybody, it's Brandman02, and in this video I'm going to explain the Open Handset Alliance. Now, some of you might know this, some of you might not. Okay, so if you might as well know, you might know that you heard that Google makes the Android operating system, but what you probably don't know is that it's actually the OHA, Open Handset Alliance, that actually does. Yes, it is the Open Handset Alliance, which is the alliance of 84 companies that makes Android. Now, some of them may no longer be companies, while others do different stuff. For example, Samsung doesn't... I don't know. Let me make an example. Samsung doesn't... Okay, a better example is Texas Instruments doesn't make the phone. They might make the chip, but they don't make the phone. So the Open Handset Alliance does actually say what they make, although some of them, for their own phones, actually make basically everything, while others actually do this. So here it has when the members joined on the left column, and I am using Wikipedia as my source, but the joining date is not important. But as you can see, these are just the companies that have made it, and these are all true. I actually went over a lot of them. What shocked me the most was that eBay is listed as a software developer. I'm not exactly sure if that is true or not. However, I do actually think that is true. And as you can see, Google is here because they are the true software developer. Although, technically, they take the Linux code. But the stuff I'm focusing on is just the device manufacturers. For this part of the video, I'm going to be focusing on who makes Android. So, what you might be thinking of is there's a lot of Androids, but most of them look like Samsung. True and not true. Many people do actually do not know that there is more than about 3 Android device manufacturers. But there are many of them, and I'm about to go over them in about a minute. Now, these are just the registered ones that Wikipedia happens to have updated. So, if one has recently joined, which I don't think one has, it would not be listed up here. Or they may have forgotten about one because this is Wikipedia, not the best source for everything. But I did get most of this checked. Okay, so before I start listing them, let me explain this. The reason why I'm going over the device manufacturers is because many people do not know that Android is its own thing, covering most of the phone industry. Not necessarily all in the US, but in the world. Because I do know some people who think that Samsung is the only Android, which is not true. However, it is the largest seller of Android products. Okay, so here are the list of the Android device manufacturers, the original equipment manager, however they Google claims it. So we have HTC, LG, Sony, Motorola Mobility, who, let me explain this. Motorola was a huge company, but they sort of split. Half the company left Motorola. And Motorola changed their name to Motorola Solutions. And then the other half became Motorola Mobility, which was bought by Google, and then Google sold it to Lenovo, which is also an Android manufacturer. However, Lenovo still does work under Motorola Mobility, as like Google did a few years back. So then we have Samsung Electronics, Sedilix. I've actually never heard of that company. I might have to search it up later. I did it before, but I do not remember where exactly they come from. It might just not make anything in the US. We have Asus Tech, or Asus Tech. It's the same as the computer manufacturers, as you can probably see. I do not actually know how to pronounce it. We have Garmin, which, yes, it is the GPS people, but they do actually more than GPSs. We have Huawei, that is how you pronounce it. We have Sony Mobile Communications, but when it joined, it was actually called Sony Ericsson, which could just be a completely different company. I do not know, because I did not look up Sony yet. We have Toshiba. We have Acer. We have ZTE. We have Alcatel. Compal. I think that's how you say it. Dell. Foxconn. I'll come back to Foxconn in a minute. Haier. Cyoskira. If that's how you pronounce it. I do think they only make it in Japan, but I'm not certain. I'll go look that up.